So you want to make a keepsake box? Stick around, we're going to make this one. This is a fun little project and it turned out really nice. Check that out. Not to be confused with going gladiator, we are freestyling this with a little quick Dremel carving to make a wave pattern for the top. Quick and easy. Now this is where you're going to want to start paying attention. Here I'm setting the stop on my miter saw so this will fit into my dado on the sides. A 3.5 inch 2x4 works perfect to get a straight, even cut across my workpiece. I'm lining that outside edge of my board up to the kerf on this. I'm your guide on this. This is one of many ways to do this. At the end, I show you how to cut this out prior to doing the carving. There are many ways to cut these dados, and this is just one I'm showing. And I'm going to cut my miters. We're using the joinery here. I'm going to set my miter 45 degrees, and this is the offcut piece, and I'm just going to cut one mitered corner, check it, and see how it looks. All right, this is what I'm going to use as my marking knife. So I'm picking up this corner here to this corner here, this handy dandy tool. So that's 5.340. I'm going to set this screw on here. Should be that way on the other side too, and it is. Means I did a good job. Good job, good job. And these points here are also the same. You can see my mark right there. Line up my blade. Make sure that I don't cut it too short. Now we'll cut another one just like this one. And I just put the glue on. A lot of times this tape works just fine. And I couldn't find my band clamps, and I wanted a little bit more than the tightness was giving me. I'm going to put this on a base. Well, the base plan was scrapped, and so you're going to see I kind of had to modify my plans midstream and switch it up with a router. Due to a change in plans on the way I was going to do this base, I didn't put rabbets in the sides of my box, so I ended up doing basically what I demonstrate at the end of the video, but I thought I was going to be cute and use a router. Well, you see how this worked out. Get a load of this cut right here. Ugh. You know that feeling when you're just like, you have got to be kidding me. I'm going to cut these a little wide of the line, and then you'll see I'm going to bring this down flush to the sides on my belt sander. It's Guten Tagen, or good and tight. That little groove hopefully will hold all the squeeze out. To cover up that boo-boo I made with the router, I just used a 10-inning jig. I didn't record it, I apologize. and I cleaned up the face to where it would glue up nice. Well, this one here looks a little half-cocked, but you know what? It really looks good. You can see this is a little proud here all the way around. This is what I was talking about. Leave a little extra so you can sand it smooth to the sides. Here I am just hitting those edges, and I'm taking them almost down to the edge of the sides of the box. And then I'm just going to work it back and forth across the center lightly. This is like fine touch sanding right here. Switching over to the orbital sander, 120, 180. Just going to sand everything down, collect my dust because I'm going to do some of that glue and fine dust particle filler. I would rather cut this box on my crosscut sled, but it has a bow now, so. Okay, that was fun. If you've seen one planer and one person sanding, you've seen them all. So, I'll be back and do a little bit of trim work on the miter saw. Anytime you're cutting small pieces like this, let the blade stop, please. I need to shave like a 32nd or 64th off here, so that's what I'm doing. All right, so I sanded the Paduke down on the surfaces that are going to be shown, and I went ahead and glued this in place. I did not clamp this. I wanted these gaps to be as close as possible. This is very snugly fit in there. It's a pretty nice fit. Let's put a coat of lacquer on here. Let's see. I need to make one of those shakers. Your Sawzall. I have wiped this down with this tack cloth to get all the dust off. This is 5/16. I sanded this and this face. This is the part everybody likes. See here how I start before the wood and I keep the sprayer spraying until after I pass across it. It's okay to waste a little bit of lacquer. Just make sure between coats you're doing something to just knock this surface down. That's what I do. And in case you weren't paying attention, let me say that again. Just go ahead and do something between the coats to make it a fine finish. And it must be time to give myself a shameless plug because I am working on another box, and oh my, is this gonna be fantastic. That's not a rattlesnake. That's me shaking the can. Shake, 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 shake your booty. This lacquer is a matte, and I shake it pretty much constantly. You know, I'll spray it and shake it, spray it and shake it, just to make sure I keep that matte mixture mixed in really good. This is a gift for my granddaughter. I think she's really going to like it, and hopefully this is an heirloom piece she keeps and cherishes forever. Stay tuned and I'll show you the tip I was talking about now. It's always a good practice to make sure you're starting off right. This is a 15-year-old job site saw. It's not a real fancy saw, and it needs a little bit of, reassurance. What I'm doing here is I am cutting rabbets before the carving process. And I'm actually doing 3 of them here, a top, a bottom, and then a top for another one that's going to get a totally different bottom. Since I had it all set up, I figured I'd just knock them all out at once. And this is a better, quicker method.